This is the DNVR Broncos pregame show presented by Coors Light. And we are here, as you guys can see, just outside the stadium at our tailgate. And this is pre-recorded, which I think is something that's good to address right away.
Ooh, okay.
Because otherwise people get really confused because it's like, wait, it's so light out there, but it's darker when I'm watching. Or how'd you guys get to the bar so fast? This is pre-recorded. Oh, I'm Henry, that's RK, and that's Benny.
Sometimes the magic, just needs to stay magic.
Oh. Well, we ruined that on the first one of the year, so.
It is important to know it's pre-recorded because we can't answer your live questions.
Yeah, we're not ignoring you. We just can't answer.
We can't answer. First and foremost, I learned something in the last 15 minutes.
Really?
Yes. I could have never been a director.
What's it in these chairs?
These chairs they just don't vibe for me. I don't know. I almost fell backwards.
You did.
I feel like there should be a place to rest your feet.
Totally.
It's not working for me.
Hey man, I'm enjoying the chairs.
Oh,
I'm enjoying the chairs. So shout out to.
Well, I guess maybe we should just dig in.
That is just rocking.
I know. This isn't.
Maybe I just have a sturdy one and it just feels really good to me. Maybe you guys.
Yeah. Or you you have a stronger core, so you can just
stay
more sturdy as a human.
You're not just wobbling around.
Yeah.
All right. We only have 30 minutes, probably like 28 minutes left. These things go super fast. So let's just jump into some of the big notes from today. The big one being the starters aren't playing.
None.
Maybe a couple. And that's what Sean said is they decided because of the joint practices that he and the Cardinals coach Jonathan Gannon talked about, decided no starters today and get good work for the backups. But Sean did say, there might be a couple. I'm curious who those couple might be.
Yeah, first of all, I'm going home.
You're going home?
Yeah, no starters.
Yes.
Bring in our backups. What are we doing here?
Oh, that's a good. Oh, wow.
I'm a backup technically. I'm a 2. I'm a 3 trying to work to a 2. So you guys are the ones. So.
No, you're a 1 that's so much of a 1. You don't even have to show up to practice during the week. You just show up on game day.
Well, you've probably been a part of these games, right?
Does it feel like my entire career?
My time to shine. Like no starters tonight. This is all us.
You know what? It's a little nerve-wracking as a young player. When I was later in my career, it's definitely not nerve-wracking. You know how to go into this game. Number one of the things that I would love to point out, it's a pleasure to be doing this with you guys.
Oh, yes.
Hell yeah.
Number two, this is incredible doing it in front of Empower Field for the first time for me. You guys have gotten a chance to do that.
I actually haven't. This
is your first time too? Oh, sweet.
Yes,
sweet. I think one thing to point out is that all of these new players for the Broncos, rookies, and then also new signees, new free agents, it's going to be their first time playing here. So there is a little bit of nerves, especially for the young players who will be playing tonight. You're playing in front of the home crowd. Playing in front of the home crowd is, to me, was always tough as a player because the expectation is there, and the crowd is on your side. So you definitely don't want to let the crowd down. When it comes to playing in a preseason game where the starters aren't playing, all eyes are on you. What is good for these younger players and people who are going to play tonight is that the roster is still at 95 or 100 people. When I played in these games, my first couple years in the league, the roster would go down to 75 people. So you're now playing the entire game. There's no subs. We played in Dallas my rookie year 2014, the last preseason game, and I played 70 plays on offense and then all of the special teams plays. So you are completely gassed. So for these young players out here tonight, they'll still have substitutions. But it's going to be interesting to see what young players play. I definitely think I wanted to see the offense and defense get some more reps out here, even if it was just a series. Regardless of how that series went, I wanted to see them play out here. But looking forward to seeing who does play tonight. There are some rookies that we want to watch and some starters that are on the bubble in terms of how much playing time they'll get, but it's going to be interesting to see.
The best thing that could have happened tonight was that the one offense played, went out there, looked great, and we were able to say, everything that happened last week, just throw it away. It didn't matter. It was early. It was nothing. And now that's not an option. So what is the best thing that can happen tonight?
Well, you start with the win. I feel like if you wind up
winning,
winning,
the wins really matter?
I think
Winning's
if you
a habit.
win like
Actually,
you won the
Nikola
last
Jokic
game.
says winning's a lifestyle.
Oh, I do like that. If you win like you did the last game, what was that, like by 20 points, 22 points?
Yeah.
Things were going well.
Yep.
Guys were making plays. There weren't a whole bunch of mistakes. Like, it's not because the win itself matters. It's because it takes a whole bunch of good things kind of stacking together to create the win. And so I think that's the big one for me is I hope this looks like last week where as soon as the backups came in, they just ran away from the 49ers. The 49ers who just beat the Raiders. The Raiders who played their starters in this game, which is really fun to think about.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think –
blowout win or
Yeah.
close win where you want to see who steps up and make a play in crunch time.
Good work, too. But blowout's better.
I want blowout.
You want
Yeah.
blowout?
I want every one of these running backs to have like 7 yards per carry. It's like, I don't know. How do you cut any of them?
So for me, if I had to guess quote-unquote starters who might play, it would be rookies. And that, for me, is the best thing that can happen tonight now that the ones are out is Pat Bryant looks really good. R.J. Harvey gets a couple carries and looks good. Jahdae Barron maybe gets out there and makes a couple plays. Like, if that were to happen, that, to me, is the number one thing that we would be talking about all week, take away from this game. In the post-game show, we're, like, fired up because the rookies looked good. They're, they're in a tough place. You would know, Benny, like, these guys' bodies are probably really tired from the 100%. Amount of practice they've been going through. So if these guys are able to go out and perform well tonight, if they play, which I think some of them at least will, it bodes well for them.
100%. And, I'm actually sticking with the RK train from last week, and I want to see Jahdae Barron actually make plays today.
Me too.
I want him to play the entire first half, and I want to see him all over the field. Jaquan McMillan is having a really solid camp. He made a big play last week with the interception. But RK made a good point last week. He's been super quiet throughout the entire camp. I still haven't heard much from this past week of practice. So I want to see Jahdae out there a ton today, making plays, flying all over the field. I want his presence to be felt. This is the Jim Thorpe Award winner from last year. He's made a ton of plays. He's our first-round pick. I want to see the leadership. I want to see him come out here and make plays. I want to see Pat Bryant continue what he did last week. 2 catches for, I think, 21 yards, and went out there and made plays. And then I want to see R.J. Harvey. I want to see positive runs. I want to see him get north and south. And then I want to see him in third down situations pick up and be a pass protector. I want to see that. I think that's his next step in the progression, and I think that's what we want to see from the offensive side of the ball.
I agree. I think going back to the starters who play, rookies I think is on the right path. I think Jahdae Barron, of course. We don't know if he's the starter, if Jaquan McMillan's a starter. Still up in the air. I think Jaquan's going to play a bunch too. And I think across the rest of the defense, I don't think any of the other starters play because it's not the defensive line. It's not going to be Benito. It's not going to be Coop. It's not going to be Greenlaw or Singleton. If anything, maybe Riley Moss, but I doubt that's the case.
Henry, I'd love to know what you think about or who is going to step up in this linebacker room because I think Lavelle Bailey what's his name?
Lavelle Bailey.
Lavelle Bailey.
You combine the two.
Lavelle Bailey. Like, does he step up and make plays? Justin Stranad, does he continue to step up and make plays? Because we have injuries at linebacker right now, I want to know who's going to take that step. I know you were at practice this week, so I want to know who takes that step during this game.
I mean, I like both those guys. Stranad, he's above this situation in my mind. like it's tough to find
I
like
bet
the
you
analogy
it's not in
for
his
it.
mind.
No, he's going to go out there. He's going to prove it once again. But I think that when you line him up against a second-team defense or second-team offense, he's just going to beat up on him. He's going to be flying through those gaps. He's going to be hitting guys in the backfield. We saw a little bit of it last week. And he's done it so many times now that you just kind of expect it. Like, it's a preseason game. Justin Stranad's going to play really good football. Lavelle Bailey, maybe a little bit more of a question mark just because he doesn't have quite as many reps. But, again, the speed shows up. I think he probably plays deeper into the game than Stranad, which more opportunities to make plays if that's the case. Again, flies around, great in coverage. I don't know much about which Cardinals backup receivers and tight ends we'll be seeing, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lavelle makes a play against one of them.
Does Chris Abrams-Drain make another interception? Does he make more plays?
Ooh.
Does he make more plays today?
I think he's a playmaker.
Yeah.
He's got, I think he's got incredible skills, talent, and then he's got like all the measurables as well, like a tall, lanky corner. Yep. So I want to see if he goes out here and makes another play and continues to just build off of the camp that he's been having and then what he did last week against San Francisco.
Offensive starters, R.J. Harvey, if we consider him one. none of the offensive line, not Evan Ingram, of course, at tight end. And then maybe the receivers are where you see a couple. Because I wouldn't be surprised if it's just
Troy
Cortland Sutton
Franklin,
who sits out.
Yeah.
I think he's the only one who should be able to sit out.
I agree.
think he's the only one. I think Troy Franklin needs to continue. Troy Franklin's going into his second year, regardless of the camp that he's had. Obviously, he played really well last week, and I heard he had a great day against the Cardinals and has been continuing to make big plays, explosive plays. But, yeah, I would like to see him play pretty much a quarter. I want the confidence to continue to come. I think he needs the reps. I did a breakdown, and it's on DNVR. It's on our YouTube.
Yes.
But I did a breakdown of some of the couple plays that Troy had. But I want him to, continue to make plays, and I want to see his routes continue to get better.
One other note. While we're still in the notes section. So one of the groundskeepers, whose name I forget but is an awesome guy, he tweeted out a picture of the field already, and one of the things that stood out is that they've replaced the seats. Maybe like the bottom 10 seats closest to the field, maybe 15 seats. So it used to be like orange at the bottom there. No longer orange. They look like they might be like padded seats now. We'll hear from some people in there, I'm sure. But then the other piece is that we could also see all this orange off to the side in the south end zone. We're like, well, are those orange seats? It turns out, according to Mike Kliss, that those are big cards that everybody will hold up before the game in what the Broncos call the South Stands Rally Moment. Now, two things about this. First, I think it's awesome.
I do too.
I think it's awesome. I don't know that we need to be calling it the South Stands Rally Moment.
It doesn't need a name.
No, it's just a cool thing we do.
He really doesn't.
Yep.
But it is uniquely Broncos.
It is uniquely Broncos.
Who do you think comes up with these ideas? So you guys are obviously all on board for it. Do you think are they allowed to put that up for field goals?
They should.
Or the away kicker if they're kicking on
I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just like a little bit of a
like the
distraction
wall
right there.
at the Clippers.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think they should do that. I think it's probably the marketing team who does
I would
stuff like this.
imagine.
But I think that this kind of stuff maybe comes down from ownership.
It could.
Like
absolutely.
The game day experience in that stadium has only gotten better, like exponentially, since this ownership group took over. And so I think that's something that they spend a lot of time thinking about is like, what can we do to make our fans leave here saying like, wow, that was not just a football game. I'm excited the Broncos won, but like that was an experience. And when I went to the Browns Thursday night game, was that Thursday night? I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That Thursday night game last year, like I left being like, that was like a Vegas level experience in terms of like a show. Like they had a fireworks show and a light show and all sorts of stuff that I was just like, dang, they're really investing in making this an experience, and it really showed.
If you had one thing to add, if you had a wish list, what do you wish that they would do this upcoming season for the fans to make that experience even better?
Good question.
I used to have a list. Like when you go to all the games, you start like noticing things that you would do different. But now it's been 8 months, and they must not have been that big of a deal because I'm struggling to remember what they were.
You know what my big thing was the last game I went to that I don't think the ownership can fix this, but it was something that bothered me is people didn't want to stand up during the game. And like my roots come from college football where you just stand the entire game. Like I don't think my ass has ever touched my seat at Folsom Field. Like I don't even know if it's comfortable or not.
Yep.
And every time we were standing up, because we were kind of like at the front of this row, me, Jake, Scotty, and Jake's brother, and like every time there's a big play, like we're standing up, and like there's these people behind us, like, hey, could you guys please sit down? And it's like, oh, dude, this is a football game.
Yeah.
So that was one that.
So third downs, stand up.
Sure, I would.
And
I could go for that.
Incomplete while everybody's standing up. That'd be sweet.
They should just like everyone out of their seats, but there's a lot of old people in there.
And that's the tough part. Is like I agree, as long as you are not standing like directly in front of somebody who like can't. Like my grandfather, for example, went to a bunch of games. He had the season tickets. We go to a lot, like one a year or so. And, toward the end of going to those games with him, wasn't really in a position to be like standing. And so it was kind of annoying when the people stood in front. At the same time, I do think you prioritize whatever helps the team win, which is standing and being loud. But maybe there's like a little bit of pay-attention.
I'm going to make a pledge right now. When I'm of the age that I can no longer stand, I will either A, stay at home, or B, sit in a position where no one could be in front of me. So like
interesting.
The first row of the second level, so like I don't have to worry about anyone standing up.
Okay. Get you some
RK thinking ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Just planning.
All right. I think that's it for notes. Before we dig into more about this game, though, got to give a shout-out to Coors Light, the presenting sponsor of this podcast. Couldn't do it without them. We are here. We are going to be drinking a lot of Coors Lights. I think the people around us are drinking a bunch of Coors Lights.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's not the most lit tailgate, I would say, because it is a preseason game.
Preseason for everyone.
And it's about to rain, I think.
Nah.
No?
We're good.
Interesting. I have bad senses when it comes to weather. But, yeah, it's going to be a big Coors Light night. I'm excited to go sit down. We're going to get there, like an hour before the game starts? Turn on the Rockies game, have some other football games going, drink a Coors Light or two before we get settled in for the watch along. Coors Light's just the best.
Assure you, I'll be drinking several less Coors Lights than I did last weekend.
I don't want to say that's a good thing, but I think varying it is a good thing because you don't want to be the guy who's always drinking that many Coors Lights.
I was up against the line. I went to try and find that clip of me calling that the play calls were shorter.
Oh, yeah.
And I was watching. I was like, I can't watch this anymore. So apologies. It was
How
the
much
golf
of that do you remember?
fault. I remember most of it.
Okay.
I knew that I called that Sean Payton thing.
Nice.
It wasn't that bad. It was just.
I thought you did a great job.
I was just up here. I just need to be down here.
Yo, I like the variance. You know, every week is its own game.
Well, and that's the thing is we were live for so long that it was a real roller coaster ride for me.
Yeah, it really was.
You needed that intermission. Did that buffalo chicken wrap save
That
you?
saved my life.
Yeah.
Saved my life.
I actually got that on the way home, by the way. Thank you for the recommendation.
Oh, really?
Smacks, huh?
Yeah, it's incredible. I'm getting that to action when we get back.
Make the most of the times that you want to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer. All right, I want to hit some of the headlines here. So the big story.
Don't forget Bennie's segment.
Oh, right. Let's hit Bennie's segment.
That's what I was trying to toss to you earlier.
Oh.
It's right there in the sheet you're looking at.
Oh, the inside scoop. We're doing it right now?
Yeah.
There we go. Let's scoop it up. Oh, okay. So here's what's going to happen. After the pregame show, you're all going to see
You have a mic, don't you?
The mic is over here.
It's hard for us to hear you.
Okay, big storylines then. Okay. Big one, obviously, is that the starters are not playing. And we've kind of talked about that. I'm curious, outside of that, what is the biggest storyline in your mind this week?
There isn't one anymore.
It's a real shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit. You want to see the young guys perform.
Yeah.
A storyline to me maybe would be can Jarrett Stidham back up that performance? Because he balled out last week. He balled out in practice. Go and ball out again. I kind of hope this doesn't happen because I'd like Jarrett Stidham to be around here for a long time. But if he had another, let's just say he went 16 of 19 tonight for 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, there might be some calls coming in for the Broncos, especially if anyone has a quarterback that goes down. So maybe the storyline is Jarrett Stidham can't play too well.
Because there's no world in which we say, it's kind of annoying that Jarrett's playing so well and, Bo isn't. So I worry about that drama sometimes. You look at the Browns. It's Shedeur, everybody's always talking about Shedeur. Then Shedeur goes and plays well. All of a sudden it just makes a mess, even more of a mess. But that was a mess to start with. With Stidham, there's no way that it becomes a distraction that he's playing really, really, really good football in the preseason games and in camp, right?
I don't think it becomes a distraction at all. I think it shows that we have a really good backup, and I think it shows that he's a pro and has been in the league for a long time, and he's getting ready to go out there tonight and play against a defense which is going to be pretty much single high safety, man-to-man, and he knows how to carve that up. And he is calm and cool in the pocket and in the huddle, which is just going to translate well. When you become a veteran, preseason games, I'm not going to say that they're easy, but you know exactly what's coming. If I think about and take myself back to maybe my 6th year in the league. I don't know what year this is for Jarrett Stidham, but my 6th year in the league playing in my preseason with the New York Giants, Eli Manning was my quarterback. We came in there. I think he hit me on an out route. He hit me on a underneath route, and I scored a touchdown, and I was out. And then went in there with Daniel Jones. I just knew what I was doing. And then I caught a touchdown from Daniel Jones. So Jarrett Stidham's a pro.
Yeah.
He's going to come in here and do that well. I think Trent Sherfield is going to pick off where he left off last week. He just knows how to play football at this point. He's a pro. I think the storyline for me is making sure our depth is what we think it is. I think we have a lot of depth at all positions. I want to make sure that continues to happen and that it's continued to be shown throughout this entire game. Henry, I thought you brought up a really good point. And RK, I think you said it as well. yeah, if we want to see a blowout. If our depth is what we think it is, we should beat the Cardinals handily today, and we want to see that.
Did you guys take advantage of the fact that you knew you were going up against guys who really wanted to make plays? So you're
100%.
like, oh, let's do a little double move here. Let's do a zig route or something just because I know they're going to overcommit trying to make a play.
Yeah, Eli would just come into the huddle and he's like, we're getting man-to-man right here. And he'd alert something like, hey, kind of run a slant right here. And then, you just rub it off of a defender, who doesn't really know what he's doing. Yeah, you could score really easily. Eli wanted to get out of there too. He didn't want to be out there that long. So you have 6 or 7 plays like, hey, man, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. This is who I'm throwing the ball to. Hey, I like this matchup right here because it's man-to-man. So, yeah, you can take advantage of it. And then you score, you get in, and you get out. And then you're done.
Who's funnier, Eli or Payton?
Ooh. Payton's very scripted in terms of he's funny, but he's scripted. Like, he wants to know when he's going to joke. When we were training camp here, he'd have different things where he had him scripted, or he'd get somebody's car towed during practice to make fun of Wes Welker or something, or he'd come in. I think my rookie year he came in dressed up as John Fox and had all the veterans make fun of the coaches and dress up as the coaches. Eli, very happy-go-lucky, just witty, telling jokes all the time. So he's more off the cuff, ready right then and there.
All right. I think that's it. Other storyline, I guess, maybe the running backs. That's the only other one. Yeah.
Who's running back 3 for you guys?
Jaleel.
That's probably the right answer. The thing is, Jaleel's the incumbent, and I feel like it's going to take all 3 of these preseason games to have it actually sort out. So I think after
he's got to play well today, though. He's got to play well.
He played very bad last week.
Yeah.
Between today and the next game, I think he has to play well.
Yeah. He's got to play well today. I mean, there were just other running backs who hit, who hit the hole better than he did.
As of now, it's Jaleel. I'm going to call my shot and say Blake Watson gets that job.
Really?
I'm going to say it.
Wow.
I think that when the time comes, Blake Watson is on this roster, and that means probably number 3 running back. I think Tyler Baday's right there, too. I don't think the separation is going to be there in the way that it seems like
Tyler
it might
Biday.
Be. He's nice.
I think his vision last week was incredible. Blake Watson, obviously, has got some home run speed, but Tyler Biday, what he did last week in the running game, I really enjoyed watching that. I mean, I don't know how many yards per carry it was, but he found the holes on a lot of different run plays.
He did.
I think I would like Tyler Biday better if his name didn't change 3 times.
Yeah. You'd like Beatty better?
Yeah, I think we started with Tyler Beatty, and I liked that. And then I think there was another change that we went through.
People were saying Batty.
Yeah, then we went to Batty.
Which, a little on the nose for me.
Yep, and then we went to Bidet, and I'm like, I just feel like it's a whole new guy. All the love I had for Tyler Beatty.
It's gone.
Yeah.
We're back to square one.
Yeah, I agree.
And I want to get it right, but it feels like maybe he doesn't even know the right way.
Potentially. Would you say the running backs have the most on the line? Is that where you'd go in terms of this game tonight?
Yeah. Yes, I would go there, but I do think that a starting job isn't out of reach for Jarrett Stidham, just not in Denver.
I don't
think he'll get traded this offseason or after this preseason because we need a backup.
Yeah,
we need a backup.
I don't think so.
But they kind of like Ellinger.
They might. I don't think they do it. I don't think they do it. I do see the world in which it happens, though. I don't think you're crazy for saying that the possibility exists. I don't think they do it.
Let's just say that, I don't want to put a jinx on any specific player, but a team who really likes their quarterback and doesn't really like their backup ends up having an injury tonight. Yeah. And Jarrett Stidham goes 16 or 19. I just think they might be calling Denver being we could have that guy start, especially if it's a coach who has had Stiddy before and liked him.
And as much as I don't want to, again, put that on anybody in particular, I think an interesting conversation would be the Lions. And again, knock on wood, don't want anything bad to happen to Jared Goff, but a similar offensive system and a similar sort of quarterback in some ways. Hendon Hooker, who struggled last week. I didn't watch him today. I didn't see what happened.
Okay.
But maybe that world does exist.
Sean's not giving that person up because we have a quarterback that, he had a back fracture last year, and Sean's had to use backup quarterbacks every year in New Orleans, for a certain period of time later in Drew Brees' career. So I don't think Sean would even consider that.
Fair enough.
And if you're sitting there at 8-5 late in the season. Bo goes down for 3 weeks. You throw Sam Ellinger
Can we
in there.
knock on wood right there?
Yeah, big knock on wood. Big knock on wood.
I think we have wooden arms on these.
Yes. And all of a sudden, Ellinger really struggles. Like, that's where...
And you got a 4th-round pick out of it or something?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'd feel so stupid for saying, wait, we took a 4th-round pick for this? And I don't even think you're probably getting a 4th for Stidham. You're probably saying, like, a 6th-round pick. And the risk is just too high that you make a big mistake if you do that. Quick little buy-sell. I want one guy each of you is willing to buy for this game.
I am buying stock in... Tyler Bede.
Nice. I like that stock. I'm buying Pat Bryant stock. I've been buying that. I bought that stock last week. I think Pat Bryant goes out here, and he has a great first half. I think he catches the ball well. I think he makes some plays in traffic, and I think Sean is going to really try to see who can continue to emerge in that receiver 2 spot. Does Mims play tonight?
I think so.
I think so, too.
You think so?
I think so.
Not a
That's gonna be
returner.
interesting. That's
I
going
don't
to be
know,
interesting
yeah.
to see him play. Wow.
Well,
'Cause
especially
he'll have to run some routes tonight, which, obviously. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I think that his position, he's kind of like solidified as the starter at the Marvin Mims position.
True.
Right.
But I think he
So
would
maybe
also
he
like
doesn't
to
play.
be in an actual position, too.
He's a starter, though. Like,
Yeah.
does Vele play tonight? He's got to
Yes.
play.
Gotta play.
Vele plays, Franklin plays. If you get Franklin, Vele, Bryant, and Marvin all playing tonight, they're going to
City's going off.
Yeah, the numbers are going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
They should be.
Sean's going to want to do it. Sean's going to
should
want
be.
Mims out there. Because as much as you could say, like, he's awesome at what he does, you get him on the jet sweeps, he'll run more screens than any other receiver in the NFL, you do want to give him a chance to develop on the other stuff down the field.
You know what? I still buy Pat Bryant stock, but I'd like to buy some Troy Franklin stock as well. I think he'll get some targets early on here in this first quarter. And I think, if he has a solid second series, then he'll be done. But it'd be interesting to see him pick up from, where he left off last week and even now throughout entire training camp.
I'm also going to double down because I think my Jahdae Barron stock went down last week after I bought it.
Okay.
I want to buy a little more.
Wow. Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's close this out with a couple bets here. Broncos tonight, 3-point favorites over with our friends at Bet365. Do we like that?
It's empty the account.
Empty the account.
Yeah.
They win by more than 3.
I like it.
A home game. Stidham, is going to Dice.
I don't even know who the backup quarterback is for Arizona.
It's Jacoby Brissett.
Oh.
No, we were standing there at practice, and Kyler came out for the first time, and number 7 comes in. I was like, who's that? And they're like, that's Jacoby Brissett. And I was like, that is, isn't it? Jacoby Brissett. Who
That's
would
a
have guessed?
vet.
He has to be
Ah.
someone. Yeah,
That
totally.
That's a vet.
Totally.
Who's their third string?
It is Clayton Tune.
Okay.
You're lucky.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Jacoby
Play that
Brissett
too.
might have a little day out here.
He might.
He's a vet.
Is he going to play a lot?
He at least gets a quarter.
I just think those edge rushers are going to kill him. Like, the Broncos get home with Q Robinson and Jonah Ellis. I've seen it every day in camp.
This guy knows how to just check the ball down.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
If Jacoby Brissett goes out there and he lets this pass rush get to him, then he shouldn't be playing anymore.
It reminds me, it's like Andy Dalton.
Hang it up.
We were I think you were on. We were talking last week. Like, it's crazy seeing Andy Dalton out there. Like, you're too old to be playing behind a backup offensive line.
Yeah.
Left the game today with an injury.
Oh.
And we hope the best for him, but be done.
Did
And
Jimmy
Jacoby
Horn do
Brissett's
anything?
almost there. I didn't watch. I just saw the updates. So we're taking the -3.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Even with Brissett out there, I want Broncos -3. I'll probably even
Yeah.
buy it up a couple points if they'll let me.
I mean, the Broncos' backups looked so good last week.
Yep.
And the 49ers just competed with their backups against the Raiders starters. I agree. Total set at 38. We like the over? Do we like the under? 38, what's that? That's 20-18 would be a push. So 20-17 is the under?
Yeah, I've got Broncos 27-16.
Okay.
So over. I'll take the over.
I worry a little bit about how many points the Cardinals score. Like, I kind of think the Broncos might get up to 30, but is it 30-7?
I do think with Brissett out there, though,
Okay. So
they
we like
should
the
be
over.
able to move the rock.
We like the over. We got about 30 seconds left here. If anybody has any final thoughts before we get out of here.
Final thoughts. I would just say, as a player, and what people should be watching for tonight. This is the second job interview that's live, and there's a little bit of nerves, obviously, for these players, these young players playing at home. So it'll be interesting to watch how these guys continue to go out and progress. This is the longest job interview people will have. Not people will have, but NFL players will have, is 45 days, and now they're in kind of the middle of it. Second preseason game, super important. The starters are playing next week. Your reps could be limited if you don't go out here and make plays today, so they should go out here and make some plays. So I'm wishing all these guys the best of luck.
Tune into the watch-along. Tune into the post-game show. We're with you guys all night.
Yes, we will be here not here. We'll be back at the bar. And also tune in because while we are done, you now get to see the Inside Scoop powered by Ent Credit Union, a great breakdown from Bennie. And we'll be back here in probably 10 minutes in your guys' world.
All right, DNVR fam, welcome to the Inside Scoop with Bennie, Fowler. Looking really forward to diving into some film today from the first preseason game from San Francisco. I know there was a lot of things where people talked about the offense and the ones and how things looked. Well, we're going to dive into that today. I think it could be different, or would have been different, if we had actually hit on a couple of plays. Actually, just 2 plays, I think, would have dramatically changed how we totally looked at this game. So we'll break these down. We'll look at these things in some of these pictures right here. So first play of the game, we are looking at an RPO action, and this is where Bo is having to read this guy right here. He is reading that defender right there. That defender has his eyes looked in, looking for the run play, which means to Bo that he can throw this ball to Troy Franklin out here. Troy does a great job of finding the hole in the defense, this area right here. That's where Troy runs to, and he ends up hitching up and catching this ball. I think we'll see a lot of this throughout the entire year, where we have these RPO actions, because Bo is so dangerous with his legs. What I think we'll be able to do in the running game with J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey, RPO, I think, is a great option for Sean and what this offense can do. Now, we got to make sure we got to keep Bo healthy. I know that's one of the most important things, but I'd love to see an RPO, and I think this is a great way to start the game. One of the things that I loved about playing receiver and being a receiver is getting the ball early on, and I think Troy has had a great training camp. We've heard the great news out of training camp of the plays that he's been able to make. But one of the most important things is to get, as a receiver, is to get rhythm and get it early and get it going. So I love this play call by Sean. Bo gets a chance to read the defense. This defender's eyes right here are in on the run, and Bo is able to make the play and throw this ball to Troy Franklin. So I think it's a great way to start the game. Gets Bo in rhythm, but also gets a receiver that you want to see more out of in rhythm as well. You can see Troy showing his numbers to Bo right here. I mean, look at this throwing lane right here. That is what you want to see. You want to see this type of throwing lane. This is easy for Bo. It's pitch and catch. It's routes on air. That is exactly what you want to see when it comes to this RPO action. Look at this defender's eyes right in there. So it gives Bo a clear throwing lane right here to make the play and throw it to Troy right on time. All right, now we're moving to a backed up situation. This is one of those plays where if you hit this play, this changes to the trajectory and then also the outlook of how we looked at the ones playing the other day. So this is a little swing pass, not swing pass, but I would say a little flare pass out of the backfield to R.J. Harvey. And if we hit this play, I mean, it's game over. So we got everybody clearing out. So they're running their routes over here. And he's going to do this little sneak out of the backfield. And if we hit this play, I mean, it's really, honestly, it's game over, especially with his home run speed. Bo just misses right here. But you can see everybody clearing out. So you have Cortland clearing out, Troy clearing out, Mims clearing out. You got all this speed clearing out. And look at all this green grass right here. I mean, this is what you love to see. You love to see green grass right here. Now, Bo just makes this touch throw over here, right here, gives RJ a catchable ball, a catch and run ball. I mean, who knows if he could score? Obviously, we saw him at UCF score on home run plays like that. So this is one of those plays right here that can change the trajectory of a game, especially in a backed up situation. And for those who don't know what a backed up situation is, backed up is when you're inside your 10-yard line or your 5-yard line. That is a backed up situation. So what the coaches teach you in a backed up situation is let's get the first down. Let's get a first down. Let's get out of this area, our end zone right here. Let's get out of this area, and let's continue the drive from there. But you need an explosive play. You want to have positive plays when you're in a backed up situation, for sure. But if you have an explosive play, which is a 15-yard run or a 25-yard, 20-yard pass, that can change the entire drive, and that changes the field position. Even if you don't score, it can change the field position. And right here, you just see this clear out right here, these clear outs, and great job by these receivers running. And you're running for the love of the game right here as a receiver. But this is one of the most important things, and this is why football is the ultimate team sport, is because you have to run and you have to clear these things out for your teammate right here. And, man, if we hit this play, who knows how we look at that game, and who knows, what will we be talking about in terms of how we reflected on that game immediately after and then all week. Look at the green grass. I mean, that's home run ability right here. And this is where you see great teams, great offenses make these small plays. And this is what, we plan on seeing throughout the entire year. And obviously this is preseason. You got to get the kinks out. You got to get rhythm. That's a real thing. You have to have rhythm when it comes to playing offense, and especially the quarterback has to have rhythm. So I think Bo, and actually, I know Bo will be better. He won't be playing this week, but he'll be playing against New Orleans. And then plays like this I expect to see throughout the year. Sean is a big screen guy. He loves screens. He loves misdirection. And you could see it with this type of play right here that was called. I mean, this is a perfect call for how aggressive San Francisco's defense is. And then the vertical routes there we are running right here. Looks like a double post with like an X over. So everybody's routes, they're running them like they're live, which means they're running them like they're actually going to get the ball on these plays. And then that leaves this type of open space and area right here that you see where you could actually make this type of play. So I plan on seeing more of this, and I think we should all, as Broncos country, see more of this throughout the entire year. But this could have been a huge play. I mean, all this grass right here with this type of speed from this guy, it's going to be exciting to see throughout this year. So this is the play where everybody, Bo takes the safety, which is, we don't like that. But we have enough blockers right here. We have the running back who is looking over here. Sean talked about it in his press conference, wondering what was going on in protection, because we have enough blockers to block this pressure right here. And then Troy is your hot route. So hot route meaning that when somebody blitzes, or if this guy blitzes and this guy comes, he is your hot throw. He is on the shallow. He is on the shortest route. The running back is in protection. I wonder what's going on with the communication here and what was communicated. Who was the mic? Who did Bo point out as the mic? Because we have the running back go over here to block, even though it's already blocked up over here. And then we have a free runner. We have a free runner on this side. So Sean talked about that. Those are things that have to be cleaned up right here, because if it is cleaned up and if it is blocked the right way, they leave Troy completely wide open right here. And he is your hot throw. Troy has also incredible speed and home run speed, but we can see right here that this is blocked up. So Dobbins should be right here. Block that up, give Bo some protection and time right here. Troy has all this green grass right here to turn it upfield. These are the little things right here that make an incredible offense. You think about the incredible offenses right now that are in the league, whether it's the Baltimore Ravens or the Kansas City Chiefs or the Detroit Lions, especially the Detroit Lions or Philadelphia Eagles. The reason why they are so explosive is because of what they do up front and the way they communicate. So if we get these things blocked up front and communicate the right way, and we have Dobbins over here to block, and then Quentin Miners right here blocks that one. Bo has a clean pocket. Then we can hit this route right here, and we're talking about a completely different game right there. And we're talking about, I think Sean would have been a little bit more positive with how that game had finished. Here we have the fourth down play. Now this is a fourth down play where Bo hits Troy and we end up getting the first down. I love that Bo stood in the pocket right here. I love the fact that Troy caught the ball with his hands. You'll have a spear route by Evan, and then you'll have a basic route right here by Troy. So a basic is a 10 to 12 yard, a spear is a 10 to 12 yard over. Evan is actually open on this play. I don't know, Bo, he didn't seem comfortable throwing it, but Troy makes a great play and a great grab and runs a great route. But we can see right here, Evan is open. There's a lot of grass right over there. So love to see Bo hit that, especially with all this green grass over here and Evan's catch and run ability. With that being said, I am not a quarterback. None of us are. So I'm going to trust what Bo sees in his eyes. And he sees this defender coming to pick up the shallow, which means this is going to be wide open behind it. And there's plenty of opportunity right there. So I'm always going to trust the quarterback in terms of what he is seeing out there, but would love to see him, maybe in the future play San Francisco again down the road. You know that Evan can beat this guy 9 times out of 10, but also trust what you see, trust your eyes, and Troy's able to come open here and make a big play. I mean, just look at the ball placement right there. It's a little high, but what you love to see it. There's always positives on every single play. What you love to see is Troy catch this ball with his hands. You love to see him staying flat out of the break, coming down this line, which makes it a safer throw for the quarterback. And then you just love to see that there's open people on this play. Got Marvin down here open on a comeback. You have Troy making this play, and then you had Evan open right here. So that's positive in terms of the separation created on this play. Great play call, great throw and catch, and just love to see the progression of Troy Franklin. I mean, shout out to him and the camp that he's been having and what he's been able to do, catching the ball with his hands and playing very confident. This is a play earlier at the beginning of the game where we missed this one. 9 times out of 10, Courtland Sutton comes down with this ball. And a lot of people I saw online talking about we could have threw the ball to R.J. Harvey right here. But one of the things that I will point out is that it's easier said than done just to think like that and pause the film and say, oh, he should have went over here. This is a great matchup right here. Number one, this is not one of their starting corners. This is press coverage. This is receiver 1 for the Broncos. And you have all of this field over here. So you can make it, this is a wide and go. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, Courtland's going to come down with this ball. And he wins on this play and wins on this route. And Bo throws an incredible ball. So I know a lot of people saw, you see the screen out here and you see the fact that we could have the catch and run opportunity right here because Evans getting ready to block this guy. You have the proper spacing with this little corner route, and then you have a spot route right here. But quarterbacks go to their matchups all the time. And when I was playing with Peyton here, especially when you have a guy like a DT, Courtland is a bigger body. If you get that press coverage and your guy can win on a go route, let's take that huge gain right there. And that's also a confidence booster. And Bo, the previous play, this was the second play or third play of that series. The first play was a pitch and catch to Troy. So he's feeling confident and wants to get the ball to Courtland. Courtland is one of his guys. He's his main target. So at the end of the day, these guys are even right here. Bo throws a dime, and it's I think it was his best throw of the day. And we had the opportunity to make that play. You see where the ball is, only where Courtland can get it, outside shoulder. Courtland, I mean, he had his hands on the ball. He's got to make that catch, and I know he will make that catch throughout the season. So at the end of the day, I like the decision-making from Bo. It was a quick decision. It was the right decision, and it was a great throw. Here we have a little stutter pass to the right. So it's like a fake power, play action fake. What I love about this play, we did get a completion on this play, so we always like a completion, but I would love to see Bo actually hit this play a little bit early. He should throw the ball to Dobbins right there. Throw the ball to Dobbins right there and get a catch and run opportunity and try to see if he can make this guy miss. He holds on to the ball a little bit too long, trying to see if Troy is going to come open and settle in this zone. Courtland's on a go route. I don't think he's really live right there. But right here, you see Dobbins still doesn't have the ball. Closer you get to the sideline, there's not much opportunity to turn up. And I think the play ends with Dobbins catching the ball right here on the sideline for not a big game. But if you can get the ball to him a little bit earlier, you can have those explosive plays. You never know. You get the ball to a guy like Dobbins in space, there's an opportunity to make a big explosive play. So that's the breakdown. What I saw, those are some of the plays that intrigued me, because if you hit a couple of those plays, we're talking about this game in a completely different way. Like I said, it's preseason. We all know it's preseason, but there were plenty of opportunities for the Broncos offense, first-team offense, to make plays that we know that they will make in week one and throughout the entire season. But I thought there were some great things. There are some things to be encouraged about. Yes, you want to hit those things, but what we love to see is the separation on those plays and the fact that people are open and creating separation. So, yes, there's a lot of room for improvement, and that's what it's all about the rest of training camp and preseason. So, DNVR fam, really appreciate you tuning in